Sometimes the most profound truths are whispered, not by human voices, but by the very ground beneath our feet, the mountains that touch the sky, and the deep, silent wisdom of the earth itself. We live in a world consumed by sound and fury, a constant stream of information and noise. But what if the most urgent message right now is not being spoken by us, but by creation around us? In a world where so much clamors for our attention, where headlines scream and debates rage, we often overlook a deeper, more ancient voice. It is a voice that speaks without words, yet its message is unmistakable, a prophecy woven into the fabric of the earth. If you have ever felt a stirring, a sense that the world is trying to tell us something, then this message is for you. Jesus once made a remarkable statement in Luke 19 verse 40, one that echoes with profound spiritual weight even today. He declared that if his followers, those who understood his truth, remained silent, then the stones would cry out. Think about that for a moment. What does it mean when the inanimate world, the very rocks and soil, holds a truth so vital that it cannot be contained, even if humanity chooses to be silent? It means the truth will find a way. This is not just poetic imagery. It speaks to a divine urgency, a spiritual awakening embedded within creation itself. It suggests that when human voices are hushed, when indifference or fear takes hold, the earth itself is prepared to testify. It will declare the glory of its creator, resounding with a message that resonates far beyond our limited understanding. Today, we will embark on a journey to listen to that voice. We will explore what it means when the spiritual significance of the earth's role in divine revelation becomes clear, and how silence from humanity can indeed provoke nature to speak. By the end of this journey, you will see the world around you with new eyes, and perhaps you will begin to hear what the stones are crying out. So stay with us, because what the earth has to say might be the very truth you need to hear. Beneath the surface of our daily lives, something profound and ancient is happening, a silent yet powerful discourse that often goes unheard. The Apostle Paul, in Romans 8 verse 22, provides a compelling image to describe this phenomenon. He tells us that creation itself, the vast and intricate world around us, has been groaning as if in childbirth. This is not a cry of despair or defeat, but rather a sound of intense anticipation, a yearning for release, for renewal, and for a return to its intended state of glory. When we truly observe the world today, this ancient description takes on a new, urgent, and deeply relevant meaning. Consider the increasing frequency and intensity of natural disasters that plague our planet, from devastating earthquakes and tsunamis to unprecedented storms and widespread droughts. These are not merely isolated incidents. Look at the dramatic shifts in environmental patterns, the rapid climate changes, and the subtle yet persistent tremors that ripple through our very landmasses. These events are often dismissed as random acts of nature, or simply as inevitable consequences of human development and industrialization. But what if they are more than just physical phenomena? What if these occurrences, these earth-shattering events, are indeed prophetic signals, profound echoes of a fallen world aching for its destined and ultimate redemption? The earth, in a very tangible and spiritual sense, reflects our own moral and spiritual condition. It is not just the physical realm responding to purely physical forces. The deep-rooted aches and convulsions, the desperate cries of the earth, can be seen as directly mirroring the spiritual realities of humanity. When there is widespread discord, systemic injustice, or a collective turning away from divine truth and righteousness, the very ground beneath our feet seems to react. It speaks through its distress, its instability, and its visible wounds. Just as a body experiencing chronic pain often reveals an underlying illness or imbalance, so too does the persistent groaning of creation point to a deeper spiritual ailment within humanity. It serves as a stark and undeniable reminder that we are intrinsically and inextricably connected to the world we inhabit. Our collective choices, our moral failings, and our spiritual state resonate deeply through the soil, the vast oceans, and the very atmosphere that sustains us. The physical creation acts as a silent, yet powerfully articulate, witness to our journey, perpetually longing for the day when all things are made new and whole. This ongoing lament is an undeniable testament to the idea that the earth itself is waiting, holding its breath for divine intervention. Its deep sighs and visible struggles are a profound call for us to pay attention, to listen with spiritual ears to its ancient lament, and to strive to understand the profound spiritual longing embedded within its very core. It is a voice that transcends language, speaking directly to the soul about a truth that cannot be ignored. Throughout the sacred narratives of history, humble, unassuming stones have stood as silent yet powerful witnesses to the most profound divine encounters and pivotal moments between God and humanity. Their stillness belies their incredible significance. Consider the patriarch Jacob, fleeing from the wrath of his brother Esau, finding solace and rest in a desolate place. He laid his head upon a stone, using it as a pillow in his weary journey, and there he encountered God in a dream. That very stone, once a simple geological formation, became a sacred monument, a silent, enduring witness to a covenant made with the Almighty. It marked a place where heaven visibly touched earth, a tangible testament to a promise that would profoundly shape the destiny of nations for generations to come. Later in the journey of the Israelites, as they prepared to cross the formidable Jordan River into the Promised Land, Joshua commanded them to perform a remarkable act. They were to take 12 stones from the riverbed and set them up as a memorial. These were not just markers for future generations, indicating a path or a boundary. They were physical, unmoving reminders, silent teachers designed to ensure that the miraculous and undeniable intervention of God in parting the waters would never, ever be forgotten. Each stone, rough and seemingly ordinary, held a deep memory, a living story of divine deliverance and unwavering faithfulness, passed down through the very landscape, etched into the fabric of the land itself. And then we find the most foundational of all stone testimonies, the 10 Commandments, etched not on fragile parchment or ephemeral papyrus, but on durable tablets of stone. Immovable, enduring through centuries, these stones held the very words, the divine law of God, serving as a foundational covenant between the Creator and His people. These powerful examples from Scripture profoundly remind us that even seemingly lifeless matter can carry immense spiritual memory and profound meaning within God's unfolding, epic story. They prove that the material world can hold spiritual truth. Creation, in its very essence, is imbued with a deep, intrinsic memory. It does not forget the divine encounters, the covenants, or the acts of power that have transpired upon its surface, even when humanity chooses to disregard or erase them from their collective consciousness. These stones, these unyielding witnesses, stand as ancient sentinels, perpetually crying out the truth of divine presence, the unwavering nature of God's promises, and the sacred history woven into the very fabric of the earth. They are a constant, silent reminder of a bond forged in eternity. The earth is not merely a passive stage upon which human dramas unfold. It is a living entity, deeply intertwined with the moral fabric of humanity, and it actively responds to our actions, particularly our transgressions. In Genesis 4 verse 10, following Cain's heinous act of fratricide, God confronts him with a chilling and profound truth. He declares, "Your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground." This verse reveals a fundamental spiritual principle that transcends time and culture. The earth itself is acutely sensitive to injustice, especially to acts of violence, murder, and the spilling of innocent blood. It effectively becomes a silent, yet powerful, repository of human sin, bearing witness to our darkest deeds and carrying the burden of our moral failures. This concept extends far beyond individual acts of violence. When we consider systemic evil, widespread exploitation of the vulnerable, or the relentless oppression of entire groups of people, we primarily focus on its devastating impact on society and individual lives. Yet, the ground beneath our feet also absorbs this pervasive moral decay. Environmental degradation, the ruthless destruction of natural ecosystems for selfish gain, and the pollution of our air and water are not simply ecological problems to be solved by science or policy. They are, at their core, spiritual scars etched onto the land, profound and sorrowful screams from a creation burdened by humanity's continuous transgressions against both God and itself. The earth, in its quiet resilience, silently bears the immense weight of our collective choices. It groans under the burden of our greed, our indifference, and our cruelty. This intimate connection between human morality and the state of the earth serves as a powerful reminder that our actions have far-reaching consequences that reverberate through every layer of creation. The land itself becomes an unwilling accuser, a prophetic warning echoing across the ages. It calls us with an undeniable urgency to reflect deeply on how our disregard for one another, our exploitation of the innocent, and our neglect of the creation entrusted to our care intertwines into a powerful, unspoken indictment against our very souls. The ground itself is speaking, its silent lament a testimony to countless acts of violence and disregard. It holds the echoes of every cry, every tear, and every drop of blood spilled. If only we would quiet ourselves, if only we'd truly listen to its sorrowful, ancient cry, we would understand the profound depth of its burden. It is a voice that cannot be ignored indefinitely, for its cry is not merely a complaint, but a plea for redemption and justice. Imagine a scene of truly immense power, reverence, and cosmic submission, far beyond anything our human minds can fully grasp. The scriptures, particularly in Psalm 97 verse 5, paint such a vivid and awe-inspiring picture. The mountains melt like wax before the Lord of all the earth. This is not merely metaphorical language designed to stir the imagination. It speaks to the awe-filled, undeniable, and visceral response of creation to divine presence and boundless power. When the Creator of the universe reveals Himself, when His glory is unveiled, the entire cosmos reacts, not with defiance, but with profound reverence and absolute submission. Unlike humanity, who often choose to resist or stubbornly ignore the divine presence and commands, the earth itself cannot and does not remain indifferent to His glory. Mountains which seem so solid, so immutable, and so eternal in our perception, become fluid and pliable in His gaze. They yield and transform, just as wax yields to fire, demonstrating the absolute supremacy of His power. The mighty oceans, untamable by any human force, roar with thunderous applause, rising and falling in perfect harmony with His will, their waves a testament to His majesty. Every single element of nature, from the smallest grain of sand to the most distant star, bows in profound reverence, acknowledging the Creator of all things with an inherent, unceasing worship. This inherent, unbidden worship of creation serves as a powerful and deeply humbling call to us, humanity, to reassess our own posture before the divine. We may build towering structures that pierce the clouds, and we may harness immense energies to power our civilizations, but before the raw, untamed majesty of God, we are but fragile dust. The earth, in its raw, unadulterated response to its Maker, reminds us of our true, humble place in the grand scheme of the universe. It reveals that while we may choose our own path, often straying into rebellion or indifference, creation inherently knows its Maker, and it responds with an unbridled visceral adoration that extends an open invitation for us to join in this cosmic symphony of praise. This profound realization should inspire within us a deeper reverence for both the Creator and His creation. It shows that true worship is not just a human endeavor, but a universal response to divine glory. The mountains melting, the seas roaring, the very elements yielding, all speak to an undeniable truth. God is sovereign, and all creation acknowledges Him, urging us to do the same with an awakened heart. One of the most profound paradoxes of all time lies in the simple, yet deeply significant, image of the Messiah, the King of the universe, choosing to walk upon common soil, the very dust beneath his feet. He who spoke entire worlds into existence with a mere word, chose to inhabit the ordinary, to humble himself and to sanctify the mundane with his physical presence. This seemingly simple act emphasizes a profound and often overlooked truth. The ground beneath our feet, which we frequently overlook, disregard, and take for granted in our daily lives, is in fact infused with divine presence. Every single inch of creation, from the smallest pebble to the vastest ocean floor, is inherently holy, precisely because it bears the indelible mark of its creator and sustains his breath. We, as humans, tend to compartmentalize holiness, often seeking it exclusively in grand cathedrals, sacred texts, or soaring spiritual experiences that lift us far above the everyday. Yet Jesus, through his very life, revealed that holiness is also found in the gritty, tangible reality of earth, the soil he walked on, the rugged rocks he sat upon while teaching his disciples, the ordinary dust that clung to his sandals as he journeyed from town to town. All became sacred simply because he was physically there, imbuing them with his divine essence. This challenges our conventional understanding of sacred space and calls us to a deeper, more expansive perception of holiness, one that extends beyond the abstract and into the tangible, often messy world around us. This profound humility of God, demonstrated by his willingness to step into our earthly existence, is an overwhelming testament to his love and desire for connection. He did not remain distant and untouchable in the heavens, but descended into the very earthly existence he created, embracing its limitations and sanctifying its every particle. It is a powerful invitation for us to see holiness not just in the heavens above, or in moments of ecstatic spiritual revelation, but right here on earth itself, in the seemingly ordinary, often overlooked aspects of daily life. It challenges us to pause, to recognize the sacredness in every step we take, in every breath we draw, and to approach the physical world with a profound reverence that acknowledges its inherent, unbreakable connection to the divine. Thus, the ground beneath our feet is not merely inert matter. It is a testament to God's presence, a silent sermon on his humility, and a constant reminder that holiness permeates all creation. When we truly understand that Jesus walked on this very dust, it transforms our perception of the ordinary into something extraordinary and sacred. The scriptures frequently employ the powerful imagery of physical shaking as a profound metaphor for divine warnings, impending judgment, and radical transformation. In Hosea 2 verse 6, God declares, "Yet once more, in a little while, I will shake the heavens and the earth, the sea and the dry land." This is echoed in Hebrews 12 verse 26 and 27, which speaks of a shaking designed to remove what can be shaken, so that what cannot be shaken may remain. This imagery extends far beyond literal geological events, encompassing all forms of global instability, whether environmental, political, economic, or social. These pervasive tremors, this unsettling disquietude that ripples through our world, can be interpreted as powerful divine wake-up calls, signals from the Creator. In moments of widespread chaos, profound uncertainty, or monumental upheaval, we are often tempted to see only random occurrences, unfortunate coincidences, or merely the predictable results of human error and natural forces. But from a deeper spiritual perspective, these shakings, these unsettling disruptions, can be understood as God's voice in the midst of the storm, a powerful and undeniable means of drawing our attention away from the temporal and towards the eternal. They challenge us with an urgent spiritual imperative to discern his voice amidst the cacophony of worldly noise and to prepare ourselves for a kingdom that cannot be shaken, a reality that stands firm amidst all turmoil. Prophetic earthquakes, whether they manifest as literal geological events or as broader societal convulsions, serve a crucial purpose: to reveal what is transient, temporary, and ultimately perishable, and what is enduring, eternal, and truly unshakable. They ruthlessly strip away our false securities, dismantle our illusory comforts, and force us to confront the true foundations upon which we build our lives, whether they be materialistic ambitions or spiritual truths. The shaking of all things is not intended to inspire aimless fear or despair. Instead, it is designed to awaken us to the unshakable reality of God's sovereign rule and the certainty of His ultimate triumph. It serves as an urgent invitation to seek refuge, not in fleeting human systems, but in His unchanging truth amidst a world in constant flux. The shakings are a call to reevaluate, to repent, and to realign ourselves with divine will, for only then can we truly stand firm when everything else around us gives way. They are a powerful reminder that only what is built on eternal truth will last. Imagine a forest swayed by a gentle yet persistent wind, the leaves rustling in unison, creating a spontaneous symphony of sound. Or picture a field of grain, bending and swaying in harmonious waves, their movement echoing a silent song. Isaiah 55 verse 12 paints a truly beautiful and joyful picture of creation's participation in divine praise, stating that the trees of the field will clap their hands. This joyful imagery is not just poetic embellishment. It profoundly suggests that creation itself, in its uninhibited existence, participates in unrestrained praise and worship of its Creator, a continuous act of adoration that requires no human prompting. The soft whistle of the wind through the branches, the mighty roar of the sea against the shore, the vibrant, breathtaking bloom of 1,000 different flowers, all can be seen as acts of profound worship, each element expressing its inherent reverence. Nature, in its unblemished and uninhibited existence, offers a stark and compelling contrast to the often silent, indifferent, or even rebellious heart of humanity. While we, burdened by our concerns and often caught in our own self-imposed limitations, may withhold our praise or become deeply entangled in our own anxieties and distractions, the natural world worships freely, without hesitation, without constraint, and without expectation of reward. It does not need sermons, instructions, or musical cues. It simply expresses its inherent awe and deep reverence for the one who brought it into being, a constant anthem of praise resounding through the mountains and valleys. This spontaneous, universal worship of nature serves as a profound and gentle invitation for us, humanity, to awaken our own spirits and join in this cosmic chorus of praise. It calls us to break free from our spiritual inhibitions, our self-consciousness, and our often analytical approach to faith, and to embrace a more direct, heartfelt connection with the divine. It awakens a childlike wonder within us and cultivates a deep, abiding reverence for God through the very world He has so magnificently made. By simply observing the majestic trees, the unyielding mountains, the vast and mysterious oceans, and the intricate beauty of every living creature, we are powerfully reminded of the joyful, unceasing worship that echoes through our creation, prompting us to open our own hearts in similar, unreserved praise. The worship of nature is a constant reminder that praise is the natural response to encountering the divine. It teaches us that to truly live is to worship, and that every part of creation, in its unique way, glorifies its maker, urging us to find our own voice in that ancient song. The earth, far more than a mere collection of soil and rock, is an ancient vault, guarding profound secrets and hidden truths that are patiently waiting for their appointed time to be unveiled. This prophetic dimension speaks to a remarkable phenomenon, how the very land itself can testify to spiritual truths long buried, often through the most unexpected and seemingly mundane means. Consider the incredible archaeological discoveries that continue to amaze us. The unearthing of ancient cities, the deciphering of forgotten languages, and the revelation of long-lost artifacts often confirm and illuminate biblical narratives, providing tangible, irrefutable proof of historical events and prophecies that were once thought to be mythical. These findings underscore a profound truth: the ground holds memory. Beyond the physical ground beneath our feet, the heavens too are constantly revealing their secrets. Astronomical phenomena, the sudden appearance of celestial signs, and the intricate, predictable dance of the cosmos can communicate God's purposes in ways that transcend human language and our limited understanding. From the alignment of stars to the movement of planets, the heavens declare His handiwork. Furthermore, the very geology of our planet, its stratified layers and complex formations, can speak volumes about creation and cataclysm, aligning eerily with ancient accounts of a world shaped by divine intervention and global events, providing silent evidence of its tumultuous past and the Creator's powerful hand in shaping it. God, in His infinite wisdom and boundless creativity, has a remarkable way of using even the most unexpected avenues, like the depths of geology and the vast expanse of astronomy, to communicate His grand design and His unfolding plan for humanity and creation. These are not random occurrences but divinely orchestrated moments of revelation. This calls us to be perpetually attentive, to look far beyond the superficial surface of what we see, and to discern the profound signs that are constantly arrayed around us in the natural world. Many of these signs are already speaking, quietly yet profoundly, waiting for those with eyes to see beyond the obvious and ears to hear beyond the audible. The earth, in its own silent, enduring wisdom, is perpetually revealing the truths that ultimately point back to its Maker. Its secrets are being unveiled day by day, urging us to listen to its ancient voice and to understand the profound story it continues to tell about the Creator and His eternal plan. The evidence is all around us, waiting to be discovered by those who seek. All the groaning, all the crying out from the stones, every tremor and every witness, points towards a climactic fulfillment, a glorious promise. The book of Revelation, specifically in chapter 21, unveils a triumphant vision of a renewed creation. It is not an image of the earth being discarded or destroyed, but profoundly transformed. A new heaven and a new earth where all things are made new, where perfection reigns. This vision offers incredible hope. It tells us that the suffering of creation, its yearning for restoration, is not in vain. The brokenness of our world, the echoes of injustice and decay, will one day give way to wholeness and divine harmony. Heaven and earth, once separated by human sin, will be made one, reunited in a seamless tapestry of God's glory. This final redemption signifies the ultimate purpose of all things. It is the culmination of every prophecy, the answer to every groan. It invites us to align our lives, our hopes, and our actions with God's grand redemptive plan, not just for humanity's souls, but for the entire cosmos. It assures us that the Creator is actively working towards a future where creation is fully healed, radiant in His presence, a timeless testament to His love and power. As we have journeyed through these prophetic cries, from the groaning earth to the worshiping trees, we hope you have gained a fresh perspective on the profound connection between the spiritual and the physical world. The stones are indeed crying out, bearing witness to truths that we, in our busy lives, often miss. They are urging us to listen, to respond, and to align ourselves with the Creator of all things. If this message resonated with you, if it opened your eyes to the silent wisdom of the earth, or stirred something deep within your spirit, we invite you to become a part of our community. Please consider subscribing to this channel for more content that explores the deeper truths of faith and creation. If you found value in this video, a simple like helps us reach more people who need to hear this message. We love hearing your thoughts, so please leave a comment below and share what impacted you most, or what questions this discussion sparked within you. And finally, if you know someone who needs to hear that the earth itself is speaking, someone who might benefit from this unique perspective, we encourage you to share this video with them. Until next time, keep listening, for the earth has much more to say.